Session. So, welcome to the bonus session. We are going to learn something again, an important, useful feature which can help you for your Salesforce journey. And today we are going to see how actually use a checkpoint in Salesforce. So, if you have used in the past the tools like Eclipse for Java or Visual Studio for .NET, then you might have seen that there are some powerful features in which suppose you have multiple lines of codes and you want to see that here is a variable age. What was the value of this during execution? Or below that there is variable salary. What was the value of that variable during the execution? So you wanted to check that in .NET, Java, etc. Then by using that kind of tool, Eclipse or Visual Studio, that becomes pretty much easy, and you can definitely achieve that as well without any kind of difficulty. So exactly same thing when we have to do in Salesforce, then we have some difficulty because the Salesforce regular IDE, integrated development environment, that is the developer console that we have seen in the past, that's not having so many features like the Eclipse and Visual Studio. So sometimes people don't understand how to take a benefit of that, or how we can use that. People mostly are confused with that. So in this case, I'm going to show you one technique by which you will understand that suppose you have to take the benefit of such kind of structure, then what you can do in this case. So for that purpose, I'm going to actually do one thing. I'm going to I'm going to actually like create one trigger, and what we will do is by using trigger we will try to understand how actually we can perform the activity on that scenario, search some kind of value and check it, etc. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll go to the Salesforce environment, and I will start working on any custom object just to see, maybe any custom object, any trigger, that's fine. And I'll just start using a trigger, and during that trigger execution we will try to search what kind of values it's showing to us, etc. Okay, so that you can understand how that structure is going to helpful for you in your real-time project. So I'll do one thing. Let's focus on one custom object, a simple object called as Parker. Click on that. Now let me go for the object definition page to see whether any trigger is there or not. So scroll down and let me edit the trigger. There is a trigger. Let me see what is in that. Okay, so there is a trigger which is calling pen class demonstration function or its class. So let me just call the class, and also please note that here it's calling the function in that. So whatever, no problem, let it be. So we are able to like see this kind of functionality. That's okay, fine. So now this entire structure we will use, or we will open in the developer console, because this scenario of checkpoint we are going to see in developer console only. So let me now go to developer console, the standard IDE of Salesforce, and now I'm going to show you how you can take the benefit of this system for tracking something. So do one thing, go to file, go to open. Let's open a trigger which we have just seen. So there's a trigger, open the trigger, and there is a class. This class will also open from this side, file, open, and just here in that paste your class name, and then select the file which is related to you, that's the fx class. Okay, so what we'll do now, suppose you want to check a specific value, what is the value, what is the variable, etc. Anything you want to check, you can perform this activity. So for example, I'll do one thing. In this class, let's say in this function, I'm going to, let's say, create a variable, let's say private and static and integer, and let's say, for example, special discount. Initially, I'm going to put the value 0. Okay, and I'll do one thing. I'll just copy this and I'll just here do one thing here. For example, I'm going to use this value in some calculation. It's a special discount is equal to, so let's say what I'm going to do, whatever is the uh, specific value is coming, p dot price. Okay, and here, and let's say I'm going to again minus 2 rupees from this. That will be my, that is my business calculation. Okay, so assume that I'm having my special discount and I'm making some kind of business calculation for the same, and I'm working on that activity. And what I'm going to do now here, so I'm going to just save this, and anyways I can just remove uh, the value for and make it as a global level, because I want to make it as a global. I want to use this for all the functions, so I'm going to make it as a global and I'm going to save that at the global level. And here, so let me do one thing. So I'm going to, let's say, make it as a global level, something like this. And here, so this special discount is a integer type, and here this is just going the calculation, or it's going actually with some kind of calculation of the price and subtraction of that. So it's actually asking us to make the typecasting or convert the proper value. So instead of that, making any kind of typecasting and like writing here any kind of typecasting value, we will do one thing. As our focus is to actually track the value, so that's why we will simply just instead of going for typecasting process, we will, so simply we can just see it was not converting properly, so we could use the typecasting, that is it was considering this as a text value, so you simply convert it to integer, that's called as typecasting. But instead of going in that direction, which will bring a new topic into the picture, let me do one thing. Let me just simply make it here, maybe here. Let's say special discount is, let's say, equal to 100, and here I'll put the value, initial value, let's say for example 20, and special discount is equal to 100 minus special discount, something like this. I'm just making some calculation, so that calculation is not important here. We just need to learn how actually at the runtime we can check the value. And now here, now this is the current value that we have. Okay, so please note, this is just a simple calculation, that is not important. The main thing is to understand, if at the runtime I want to see what is the value in the special discount, how can I check it? That's the only here concern. So Salesforce is now like .NET, you while running the code one by one, line by line, you cannot run the code the way we can do in Visual Studio. That's not possible here. Then what you can do, max to max, Salesforce says you do one thing, you right click on this row, just click on this row, and here you need to make a kind of checkpoint for this row. Okay, that is what we need to do now. Here let me just show you. So do one thing here, suppose you want to check this value. Okay, you want to check this value, and now I will create one more variable, let's say here also some shipping discount value, something like this maybe. And this calculation also I'm going to do here. So let's say shipping discount equal to, let's say, minus 10, something like this. Or maybe you can just also, you can make it here, this is whatever the pen price coming, so minus, you can remove that. So for, you can also do one thing, you can just copy this value. So various combinations are there, you can do this, and you can, here whatever the price is there, out of that 5 more destruction more, remove 5 more, and again make some kind of more additional discount. That also you can do. So that, let's say we are giving additional shipping discount, that way you can also mention. And also this entire information you can typecast into integer, this also you can do that. So let's say we are giving some additional discount in the shipping discount also. Okay, that's also possible. So if you see here, if I'm not writing this integer, so what's happening, if I save this value, see now here, save this and see what's going to happen. So illegal assignment from decimal to integer. So here actually this is a decimal value. Okay, so it's not able to properly convert into the integer. Then one solution for you is to make this variable as a double. So when you make a double, then you can actually have a proper system. Okay, so you can make it double, or you can typecast also. Okay, so these are the various ways by which you can handle the scenario. Let me make it double, for example, save it. So if you want to have fractional value, you can make it double, you can make a typecasting, you can add any values. So please note here, let's make it double. So that also you can do. So assume that we are here calculating shipping discount by this way, and here we'll do one thing, here we'll calculate the special discount, let's say by 3. Okay, so this way you are calculating. So now at the runtime, I want to see how much was the value for special discount and how much was the value for shipping discount at the runtime we want. So do one thing, just click on the, so this shipping discount calculation is at which line number, 18. Just click on this 18. One gray color, or let's say dark red color option will come, that's nothing but your checkpoint. Even here also you can click, that's also your checkpoint. Okay, now how that will work, let me show you. Just click on save all, and let's do one thing, let's focus on this first of all, because this code is written in such a way that at a time only one block will be executed, because it's if else if block. So only one, either this or this or this will be executed. So I'll do one thing, first we'll add the value which is between 70 to 100, maybe let's say 80. Okay, so let's go for the pen object, and let's enter a record in the pen object and click on new. And also let me see whether the trigger is active or not, because that's also important, trigger is active or not. So I'll do one thing, the trigger status can be seen by here. So let me go to the object definition page and click on edit trigger. Yes, trigger is active. Here you can see status, trigger is active. Okay, you can see the status, trigger is active. Fine, all good. Now let's enter the record. So let's say customer name is Adam, or whatever is the name, price is 80, and discount deleted, we save it. Okay, so whatever used to happen, it happened, that's fine. But now we will go for that execution, and let's go for that class. So now we were having interest to see whether anything happened in the line number 18 and line number, the next line number for line number 23. Then we wanted to see that if any execution happened in that page, then or in that line, what was the execution. We want to see what was the execution. Now as here, one possible way for this is debug statement. You can print debug statement and you can use that. That is one way. But apart from that, Salesforce also give you one detailed way or another scenario, which is actually checkpoint, which specially gives you the information, and it will show you the details in terms of value. So this is also one more way by which you can check the value. Okay, So how we can perform this activity and how we can see this, let me show you. So what we need to do now, by coming to this page, look at this, how beneficial that checkpoints for you also. So just click on the tab checkpoint. You can see there is a tab called as checkpoint. Click on that, and it will tell you that there was one checkpoint at line number 18 that got executed. Yes, that's correct, because this only should be executed. This is not executed, right? Because our price was not between 15 to 70, so definitely it will not come here. And also it will tell you all the checkpoint locations you have. So one is for 23, one is for 18, and one is from my lightning. It's working, or it was just recently executed, so you can skip it, that is, you can neglect. So now what you can do is double click on this checkpoint which was executed. Which checkpoint executed? This executed at 7:34. Look at this, before 2 minutes the checkpoint got executed. Okay, great. I want to see the details. Double click, and here is the detail for that. What all the things happen in that process, it will tell you. But here our area is this is our area. These are the custom checkpoints. We are not having an interest to see all this information, but still those will be useful for you also if you want to get some information. For example, look at the p. We use variable p. Look at this. In the variable p, what was the name? See, Adam. Can you see here, Adam? What was the value? 70. So this tool is fantastic to give you a detailed explanation like .NET Java also. And is deleted, owner ID, these are standard things, system things, you can skip it. What was in trigger.new? What was present in trigger.new? So in trigger.new we have only one record, that's why it's showing here. What was in the pen list? In that also we had only one record, it's showing here. So this is a fantastic platform. What was in after tree? Is after false. Okay, what is delete? Is delete value is false. Okay, is then delete false. Is update false. Is before? Yes, it was is before scenario. Is insert? Yes. So you can see here, even you can check the context variable value. These are all standard things. That's why coming by default automatically your area of custom thing is only these two. These are the only custom things. Anyways, we are interested in the shipping discount value, okay, because that is what actually executed. So go to the line number 18, shipping special discount. So click on the special discount and check the value. So look at the value 20. 20 was the value for special discount, which is showing here. Now the interesting thing for you here, which you need to understand, is that whatever will be the price, or whatever will be the value here, so that value information or whatever activities you are doing, that information will be shown here in terms of various step. And finally it is going to show you the initial combination, like whatever value was there, and how the calculation happened. So what value you got at that level for the special discount, it will be showing that information to you. And apart from that, it will also show you that whenever the next interaction you actually had any kind of activity to perform, or let's say you use this value again in any kind of next interaction, then what was the scenario for that. So this way you will get all these activities happening for that particular scenario one by one. So for example, I'll show you one more scenario to you. Now do one thing, go to Parker Pen and let's add the same value 80, and now see what's going to happen. So let's say here I'm adding one more value and price, let's say 70, and save. So that's between the 50 to 80 as per our condition. So that's absolutely fine. As per our condition, it is 50 to 80. And now what we are going to do, we are going to again check the checkpoint, and we are going to see the same location. That is what was the special discount we have given, or we got special discount. And in the special discount, again, whenever you are using any kind of value or whatever value you have used in this process, that will be displayed here. So for example, now we will do one thing, or here we can do one thing. This time we can go for the shipping discount. Okay, we can go for the shipping discount, and let us see how much was the value of shipping discount we got at this location. Okay, so let's proceed and see what was the value for the shipping discount we got for this location. So for that purpose I need the value between 50 to 70. So I will mention the value, let's say 60. So go to this and create the record and click on new, and let's say Ajay and 60, let's say maybe, and save. Now the second functionality or the second checkpoint will be coming to the picture, and what we need to see now here is, let me now show you. So now this is the main area we need to see, shipping discount. So third one, 741, double click on this, and then you got the, go for the special discount, and you can see special discount, but our case is the shipping discount, and you can see 30 is coming here. Okay, so this way you can check at that moment what was the variable value. Now I will show you one more scenario where I'm going to modify the Apex class and see now what I'm going to do. I will do one thing, I will make the modification in the Apex class. Okay, let us do one thing. Let's now here double salary, let's say for example 20,000 is the salary. Now what I will do, now I will just write a logic here in this. Okay, I will remove this condition and I'll do one thing, I'll just write some logic here. Okay, so what I will do here is in this code we will perform some kind of activity, and what I will do is I will write here, let's say for example we are using the variable salary. Okay, so we'll do one thing here, salary, and let's say we are going to create one variable, and let's say here we'll create one more variable, static copy, let's say bonus, and let's say the static bonus equal to, let's say for example 1000. Okay, just check and see how it's going to work, and after that we'll do one more thing. We will then here will calculate the bonus value, and what we'll do here is we'll perform some kind of scenario here. So also I'll declare here, let me declare this value, and let me remove the static from here, bonus. Okay, and initially I'm just adding 0 here. So bonus, let's say I added value 1000, and after that for example I'm adding here, finally I'm making the salary again. The salary is equal to now salary plus bonus. Okay, so now the value how much is becoming, so 20,000 and 1000 is equal to, let's say for example 21k is the value right now present. Okay, and now after that here also I'll do one thing. I will, once this is done, once you have a salary value in with you, then let's say for example we will perform some kind of any sample code, in some calculation we are having. Okay, and again after that here, let's say we are actually making the salary, we are changing the salary, and let's say we are modifying the salary to, let's say uh, 5000. Okay, and here any code we are writing, and now let's say for example we are writing this value again. Okay, we are performing some kind of calculation like this. Okay, now save it. Now for us this calculation is not important, what is salary or bonus salary, this is just a dummy sample code. The main purpose is to just check and understand how we can track the value or how we can trace the value. So this calculation, these salaries, these are all dummy scenario, just sample calculation. But now to see the value of this various variables, what we'll do, click on this 20 also, click on this 14 also. Okay, so this way now let us see how it is going to give us various outputs. various values for the same variable. Okay, again, now go to the pen object and create any new record. So these are the different ways by which I want you guys to learn how we can track the value. Any record, let's say whatever is the price, and save. Okay, now go to this developer console. Now definitely this time you are going to see the checkpoints, but the checkpoints are going to be for 2 lines. So please note, at 7:46 you have checkpoint at line number 14, and at 7:46 again immediately you have one more checkpoint at line 20. Okay, so we are having 2 checkpoints mentioned that it's showing. Now if you click on the line number 14 checkpoint, it will show you this information. So here anyways we are interested in the checkpoint for the salary. We are checking everything for the salary. So when you click on the salary value, so it is showing you, for example, 20,000. You can see at line number 14 your salary value was 20,000, and if you go to the code, so you can see that at line number here we interacted with the salary which was initially 20,000. So that salary value we got at line number 14. And now another important thing we need to see that now when the same code you interacted, or when you check the same code at line number 20, so what is the now new value for this salary at line number 20? What is the new value for this salary? What should be the latest value for the salary at line number 20? Yes, the latest value is 5,000 because we modified the salary. So now at line number 20, 5,000 should be shown. So the new value for salary is 5,000. Let me show you. Double click and go to salary and look at this. Now the new value for salary is 5,000. Okay, so this way at that line, or at which line, what was the value of what variable, you can check by this checkpoint. In the real-time project, one variable will be used in hundreds of locations, and with lots of calculations the values of the variable will be keep on changing. So here that's why I have taken one variable that at the beginning I mentioned, let's say 20,000. Then I use that variable here for some calculation. Then again, let's say by some reason the value of the variable modified, and again we are using that variable later after some time. So to see at what position what was the value of which variable, you can use the fantastic option of checkpoint and track it here. So this way what we do in the real-time project, if the salary variable is getting modified 20 times or used 20 times, so multiple times we keep the checkpoint and we keep on checking what was the value here. Okay, after that what was the value, after that what was the value, after that what was the value. So this kind of mechanism we use in Salesforce to see what changes are happening for that value one by one, line by line. Okay, so I hope everyone is understood how to use the checkpoint. Everyone is clear with this, how to use the checkpoint? So now you can use the checkpoints in your projects. Okay, great. So do use that. It's very famous tool, very useful tool, and keep on tracking all the changes in the values. So that's all from our bonus session. Let's meet in another bonus session soon. Thank you.